Instagram. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, all of my students that have joined me this morning. My name is Erin, and I'll be guiding you through your practice today. At any time, you're welcome to rest. At any time, you can sip your water or do other variations of postures that we're doing, or even skip postures altogether that don't work for you. So use this time to really do what feels best for you, and maybe explore things you haven't tried before too. So really whatever feels right for you in the given moment. So I'm going to start today seated, but if you feel more comfortable reclined or some other place to find your original breath work and just start to settle in, that's perfectly fine. And if you have a block and you've chosen to find a seat, it might be more comfortable just to elevate yourself up on the block. As you're starting to allow yourself to settle in, start to take some breaths in and out through your nose. Finding some length through the spine. And softness in your face. Allowing your shoulders to relax down and away from your ears. And just taking some nice, long, easy breaths. As you inhale, allow the breath to go down into your belly to expand it. And when you're ready to release, you'll just simply let go. Inhaling down into the belly. And exhale. As we continue, the inhales might grow slightly longer, and as will the exhales. Long inhales, and complete exhales. We'll take two more this way, inhaling down into the belly, and then allowing the breath to just start to spiral its way up. And releasing when you're ready. One more breath this way. And on our next one, we'll start to activate the exhales. So we'll inhale, allow the belly to fill, breath moves on up through the ribs. But to exhale, we'll begin to lift the pelvic floor up and draw the lower belly in to support the spine. Relax your effort as you breathe in. And apply that contraction as you breathe out. As you inhale, expand. And as you exhale, pelvic floor lifts, lower belly draws in. We'll continue to work with this for several more rounds. Feeling the power of the exhale. Using those very deepest muscles here to draw in and up to support the spine, lower back. Let's get about 4 more. We'll continue to use this breath on and off throughout our practice today. Last few. And we'll get one more here. Firmly lift and squeeze. Pause at the end of this exhale and just notice that extra length and strength. And then we'll take a few natural breaths in and out through the nose. Still keeping all of the awareness inside the body and on your state of mind. And just noticing any subtle changes that just coming to the breath might have done for you. I already feel way more relaxed and just overall better here. As you're ready, we'll take our right hand and place it over the heart, and then the left hand will place over on top of the right. Just take a moment here to really connect to the self that is deep within. And if there's something special that self needs, just hold that there in your heart. That's something you might revisit throughout the practice, or maybe something you consider throughout your day. And now we'll open up practice by uniting our voices in the sound of Om, and we'll begin with one cleansing breath. Let's take the breath in through the nose and just release through the nose. Inhaling for your Om. Have a wonderful practice, everybody. Let's open up our eyes, and we'll begin our warm-up in a seated position. So if you're not already there, just gently make your way up. You can continue to sit on your block, but I'm starting to feel more comfortable, so I'm going to just take mine out. That doesn't make any difference. Once you're aware, there, take your hands onto the knees. Take an inhale and just kind of stretch yourself up nice and tall and begin to engage the belly just slightly. And as you exhale, we're just going to tuck the chin, walk back a little, and just start to find a little curve for the spine. As you inhale, we'll slide our way forward and up, arching but extending upward. And then as you exhale, we'll just tuck the chin and walk back. Starting off very slowly and small. Inhaling, arching up, rocking a little forward. Exhale, curling it back. So just starting to move through the spine at your own pace, letting your breath determine how fast you move. Over time, your inhales might lean you a little bit more forward as you find more flexibility. And exhales, you might walk back a little more slightly here. Let's take about 4 more this way. And just doing at your own time, your own little nuances here are always welcome. Let's get 2 more. And 1 more. Good. Let's stay rocked back for a moment. Just pause there, holding on to the front of the legs. Maybe you start to rock your head a little side to side just to warm up the neck. And just enjoying a gentle curve through the spine. And maybe 1 more here. And we'll start to spiral the spine around. So as you inhale, you'll start to come forward towards the right and then around towards the other side. And you can let your shoulders kind of get in and play here, rocking a little side to side. You guys just continue as I find a little extra room for my mic. My mask must be a little tight today. And just taking 1 more in that direction. And then whenever you're ready, you'll start to take these in the opposite direction. Really linking your movement to your breath. And we'll just get maybe 2 more. And if you start to feel uneven, then you just go back the other way. And here's our last one. Good. Let's inhale both arms all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to just tilt it over towards the right side as we find our side bend. Inhale, open up a little, maybe backing off. And then exhale. Inhale to back off a bit. Exhale into maybe a little bit of a deeper bend here. 1 more round. And then inhale up through center. And then exhale, taking side bend to the left. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. You want to make sure that you're not crunching your top ear. Keep your shoulders slightly drawn back. 1 more breath. Beautiful. Let's inhale all the way back up. And exhale, hands draw to the heart. So you can either continue to sit on your block or come off. And we're taking the feet forward now. Either keeping the feet on the ground, or you can start to lift your feet. Squeeze and engage the belly as we start to warm up the core muscles here. Reach your arms forward. You're going to inhale and reach a little bit forward and up. And then exhale, open the arms around and come on back. Inhale, reach forward and up. Exhale, circle, come back, squeeze the belly in. Last few. And just noticing when your belly needs to catch you. Last 2. Maybe really linking to breath. Exhale, firm squeeze, pause here. Continue to lean it back. Take a breath in and out. Adding a twist, you're going to inhale and open the right arm up. And exhale, reach forward. And scoot a little forward. Inhale, other side. Exhale. Last few. Inhale, open. Exhale, back to center. 2 more. Last one. Pause here. Either staying here, maybe grabbing the thighs, lifting up one foot, and then the other, holding on and just warming up the ankles, circling them around, opening, squeezing, rolling the other way, continuing to find that strength in the core, maybe releasing the hands, reaching them up or forward. Last breath. Nice. Let's let our feet come down. Spread them a little wider. We're just going to find a few cat-cows here. So you need to give yourself enough space for the chest. So inhale, just kind of come a little forward. Exhale, rock it back. 2 more. Inhale, a little forward. Exhale, come on back. 1 more. Nice. Let's sit up nice and tall. We're going to make our way onto hands and knees. Just bringing your hands either right under the shoulders, or if you're a little less bendy in your wrists, just going to walk them a bit more forward. Curl your toes underneath. We're going to find a hover tabletop position. So begin to squeeze and lift pelvic floor and low belly. And then just hover your knees up off the ground a little bit here. So it's just an inch or 2. I think you'd really press the floor away with all 10 finger pads really pressing. Squeezing and lifting lower belly in. And just finding a nice neutral spine. For 1 more breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll lift it up and back and start to explore downward facing dog. And you can just let your head shake out and shake out any stuff you brought into class with you today. As you pedal out the feet 1 at a time, letting yourself stretch a little longer through one leg as it straightens out, and then the other. Linking movement with breath. Take 1 more breath pedaling. And we'll start to still our downward facing dog. Feet are about hips width apart or even a little bit wider. Bend your knees and then try to press yourself back. Make sure you're not overarching here and collapsing. Try to get yourself nice and neutral, engaging lower belly and pelvic floor. So I always add waved plank into practice. It'll get you into a strong plank and help prevent dumping into the lower back. To find it, we'll inhale and bend the knees a bit more. Exhale, curl and tuck chin and try to roll. Stays very, very lifted. Keep that lift as you arrive in your high plank and squeeze. Take 1 more breath in. As you exhale, we'll drop the knees and then our whole self slowly down to the floor. Tuck your chin, inhale, lift for your cobra. And then exhale, roll it on down. We'll do 2 like that. Keep pressing tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, lift up and roll. Exhale, roll down. 1 more. Inhale, lift and roll. Pause. Exhale up through a modified plank. And then take it back to downward facing dog. Big breath. Let it out. Coming to the top of the mat now. Bend your knees, look forward. Inhale. Exhale, walk your feet right on up to the top. We'll inhale to a half lift with bent knees, belly strong. Exhale, soften and fold it down. So if this is a little too deep for you right off the back, a nice modification is to take your forearms onto your thighs here. And just allow your arms and legs to help support the torso. And continue to take some nice long inhales and exhales. Finding any movement of swaying side to side and shifting the weight a little foot to foot if that feels nice in your body. And maybe you open and close your mouth a few times here. So many of us tend to clench our jaw as we sleep or even throughout the day as we feel tension. And just opening and closing the mouth with your head inverted this way can really help release some of that. Last breath. Let's inhale back to our half lift. Squeeze low belly and pelvic floor nice and strong. Exhale, soften the knees and bow. Inhale, rise to extended mountain. Sweep all the way up. And exhale, hands arrive at heart. Let's flow through our first Sun Salutation. Inhale, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, bend the knees and fold your way down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, we step to down dog, so we get that extra core lift. Inhale, bend your knees to prepare. Exhale, begin to lift the hips here. Squeeze low belly to support the spine. Arrive in plank, take a breath. Exhale, lower knees down and find modified chaturanga by squeezing elbows in and staying up with the upper body. Inhale to up dog or cobra there, and exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. As we move through these, if you prefer the first version we did, laying all the way down on the floor instead of that hover, and taking a low cobra, you're always welcome to do so. We're going to try that one more time from the front of the mat. So let's inhale, look forward and bend the knees. Exhale, step your feet up towards your hands. Inhale halfway. Exhale to fold. We'll rise with the inhale, sweep up, lift your soul. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep all the way up. Exhale, dive slowly down. Inhale, halfway strong. Exhale, hands plant, step it back to downward facing dog. When your inhale is ready, bend the knees to prepare. Exhale, curl and wave into plank. Stay lifted as you arrive on the inhale. Exhale, either to the floor or modified chaturanga. Elbows are lower than the shoulders. Inhale, up dog or cobra. And exhale, send the hips up for downward facing dog. Take 2 long breaths. One more. Let's take the right leg to the sky on the next inhale. Here's your 3-leg dog. Maybe you come up onto the ball of your standing foot a couple of times, up onto the toes and down. If it feels good for you to bend your knee to open up the hip here, you can start reaching your right leg or your right heel over towards the opposite shoulder. On the next breath in, come back to 3-leg dog, leveling out the hips. Exhale, knee into the nose, curl and lift it just like we did as we rolled. Again, inhale, take it up. Exhale, curl it forward. Keep it there this time. And we'll try to step towards the right thumb. And if it needs a loving coax with your hand, we're going to give it to it. Bend the back knee slightly as you lift up into your high crescent lunge here. And just spread your fingers nice and wide. You're going to come in and out a little bit here. So you're going to inhale, come tall. Exhale, fist of fire in, and that lower belly draws in and up. Inhale up, exhale dip. Inhale, exhale fist. So as the fists come in, strong squeeze and lift. Find that inner power. For 3, for 2, you got it, for 1. Now we let all of that power just energize through our entire souls and bodies. Maybe you lift your gaze a little bit and offer it up to the sun. Open your arms and your heart and take that energy back from the sun. We're just a conduit for the whole earth and universe here. Take one more big inhale. And as you exhale, we'll take the hands down towards the front foot, finding a twist. If you have a block, we're going to put it right under the left hand, and then sweep the right arm up to the sky. If it doesn't feel good for your neck to look for your hand, then just look straight down. or for the side. We're going to stay here for another long breath in and out. 2 more. 1 more breath. Good. Now this next part's a little tricky, so really squeeze low belly in. We're going to come up to a high lunge twist. On your in-breath, you start to rise up, but you stay twisted. Right arm's going to reach back, left arm reaches forward. Beautiful. I can see you guys in the mirror. You look fabulous. Take 1 more breath in and out. Moving to warrior 2, back heel drops. You're going to cartwheel your arms open and just take that front toe and knee. Let me move my blocks so you can see a little better. Make sure they're pointing forward. Spread your fingers wide. Maybe you look towards the front hand. 3 breaths. 2 breaths. And 1 more. Front hand flips. Inhale, reverse warrior. Stay there for a breath. Top shoulder rolls down from ear. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, we'll cartwheel the hands to the front foot and step back to downward facing dog. When we arrive there, we just notice right and left legs, seeing if there's any changes there. And then we'll do that same thing on the other side. So let's take the left leg sky high, maybe coming up and down on the ball of the right foot. So this part is just for you to play around, so you can do whatever feels best here. Maybe bend your knee and open up the hip, trying to point the knee up towards the sky. And on your next natural inhale, we'll kick the leg up and back again to level the hips. Exhale, knee draws in, lower belly curls, find that lift. 1 more time. Inhale, slide it up. Exhale, curl it in. Use your power. And then step towards the front hand, left hand here. Coming up to crescent. Take your time. There's no rush. We leave all the rush out there. Let's come in and out strong with those fists of fire lunges. Inhale, come on up. Exhale down. So a nice exhale. Right through the nose. But every time you do it, you feel that power energize. Last 4. Building internal heat. 1 more. Now let that heat and energy radiate throughout as you open and spread here. So you want to take your arms too far up. You want to take the shoulders down using upper back muscles to do so. Back knee can be a little dipped here. That's going to stretch a little bit more through the front thigh. Big breath in. And out, final breath. Inhale, find a little length. Exhale, get ready to twist. Hands come to the front foot. Taking a block under right hand. And then inhale, we'll sweep left arm to sky. Still trying to keep the hips pretty level, so bringing that twist away from the lower back, more into mid back there. Your gaze can be up or wherever feels best, but your gaze should be intentional. Last 2 breaths. 1 more. Coming to high lunge twist. Inhale, lift up. Left arm reaches back, arms nice and wide. Gorgeous job, you guys. I know it's not easy. 1 more breath here. Warrior 2, back heel drops. We cartwheel our way around. And then check in with your legs. So your legs should be in line with each other here. If you feel as though they're out of sync, just come on out to set it back up. You can even bend the back knee slightly if that feels better, but continue to press into the outer edge of the back foot. Another breath here, really reaching long through the arms, shoulders descend. Flip the left hand. Inhale, reach up and back to reverse. Stay for the exhale. 1 more breath in. As you exhale, cartwheel hands to the floor. Step it on back to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Couple more. Maybe one more here. Back to plank we go. Prepare with an inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, lift and roll. Keep that lift and strength as you continue to get forward on the inhale. Coming to forearm plank, you're welcome to drop the knees first to come down, bringing elbows down to the ground. So elbows are just about under shoulders. Spread your fingers wide. Your arms are parallel to the edges of your mat. You can lift your knees here or keep them down. I'm just going to breathe. Try to take long breaths in and out. Squeeze your glutes more a little. Maybe you start to count your breath because your mind is saying, oh my God, how much longer am I going to be here? So we need to give the mind something to do, so maybe we just breathe in to a slow count of 4, perhaps, or whatever works for you. And then breathing out, and then taking just one more round. Good. Let's drop the knees towards edges of mat. Big toes touch. Let yourself rest in child's pose. Just feeling all that beautiful energy stirring in the body, that heat we've created. Let yourself totally rest here. If there's something else your body needs, whether it's a drink or any other position, please go ahead and do what you need. You can stay as you are, or to add a little side stretch in here, you can start to walk your hands over towards the right. And as you reach to the right, you can pull a little bit with the left hand. Get a longer stretch through that side, maybe even intentionally pressing the left hip a little bit away from the hand there. And we'll walk our way through center and try the other side. Even pulling and gripping on the floor with your fingertips, getting a little extra traction there. And one more breath. Let's walk our hands back up towards the front. And one final exhale. Coming back to hands and knees as you're ready. Curl your toes. Lift the knees to our hover. Squeeze and engage pelvic floor. And finding that hover here. Staying right here. Last inhale. Exhale, lift it up and back, press to downward facing dog. Deep breath. And release. Nice, let's look forward, bend the knees, prepare. Exhale, walk, or if you're feeling a little spunky, you can take a little hop up to the front. Inhale halfway, squeeze the belly, nice neutral spine. Exhale, soften it on down. Let's rise up, sweep up, press the floor away. And exhale, hands to heart. Take a breath in and out. I'm going to come into a tree pose right up at the top of the mat. So if you're not all the way up, just walk your way up a little bit more. Feet are just under hips. You want to take the belly in and up here. And start in mountain, palms can face forward. And since balance is challenging for me, something I always like to do mentally is to clear the air and kind of get out of my head about it. So it feels really nice to sweep the arms up. I'm going to scoop up all your gorgeous energies and then take them to my heart, hands in prayer. So now I know I'm going to feel a little better. Moving down into the right foot. We'll take the left foot to the inside. So it might come down onto the calf, or you might grab it and try to press it up into the inner thigh. You're again lifting right through the center of the body, pressing your foot into the ground. Maybe lifting your hands to some other place. So you can come to whatever place that is, or you might stay right where you were. You can continue to explore variations with your arms, or maybe meditate in stillness. We'll take another breath in and out. Let's begin to bring our hands back to prayers. We're going to move from here into Warrior 3 with hands at heart. Lifting your knee forward now, keep it up. Begin to bend the standing leg, press it back. Lower belly scoops in and up as you extend it back to take a nice long neutral spine. Gaze is wherever it naturally lands. Try to point the back toes to the floor. Last breath. And we're going to land in crescent. Take it back, arms reach up. And then open it up to the side. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to come into Goddess. I'm just going to walk over here for a second. I'm going to get tiny, guys, but I just want them to see me. So take your toes out a little bit. Whoa, slippery. And then sit on down. So we're going to start with the fingers pointing in and the thumbs out. You can lean forward a little bit so you can really feel the knees opening up. Take an inhale there. And then exhale, we're going to twist over to the right. So you just drop the left shoulder down. Take a breath in and out. Staying there for another few. One more. Let's inhale to the center. And then exhale, twist towards the other side. 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Let's gently unwind back to center. Now we're going to hold our Goddess so knees stay open, thumb and forefinger meet, and just spread the arms. We're going to inhale, slide halfway up, and exhale, slide it down. You can keep a peek on your knees as you continue to move up on the inhales a little. And exhale down. Make sure the knees don't start to rock in. Keep them pointing out. Last 2. Inhale up. Exhale to sink. Final 1. Sink and stay. 3 breaths in, followed by 3 breaths out. If it's starting to let the knees come forward, you want to even lean forward a little bit to take the hips back. This is our last breath. 5-pointed star. Inhale, press up, feet pivot so edges are parallel to edges of mat. Arms open up, big hug for the whole universe here. On your next exhale, bend your knees, send the hips back, and enjoy a wide leg forward fold. If this is too deep, you want to bend your knees more, you can always use a block under your hands. It can also feel kind of cool to bring a block up under your head. Rest your head a little bit on the block there. And if you decide, no, I don't like that today, then don't give it a go, but just give it a little shot maybe. And just let yourself feel a little supported. Hands are wherever feels best. Let's take 3 more. Two more. And 1. Nice. Just moving the block a little out of the way there. Let's inhale back to half lift, fingertips on the floor of the block. Squeeze and lift low belly, get nice and strong, and then lift the hands up onto the hips and pause. And then on your next inhale, we'll come all the way back up to stand. Warrior 2 again on the right toes pivot forward, bend your knee. So a common thing to happen here as we open up and expand is for the front knee to start to fall in a little bit. So you want to take it out. Nice job. Really reach. Flip the front palm. Inhale, reverse. And we'll make our way to extended side angle, taking your forearm onto the thigh, top arm up to the sky. Finding half bind, turn your palm to face behind, bend your elbow, and then take your hand towards your lower back. Now if your neck is feeling a little tired, you're going to slip down for the front foot. It's a little bit easier, I think. Or you can look to the side. Up is the most difficult. Last 2. Last one. Let's release the bind, sweep the arm up. Stay for one last exhale there. Inhale, sweep up and back. And as you exhale, we'll cartwheel back to down dog. Hands to the front. Lift the back heel and just step it on back. Big breath in. Long breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, or maybe we float the feet to the front. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. We're going to stay down here a little longer this time and just let everything kind of hang. You don't want to feel really rounded like you're hanging on the spine though, so bend your knees as much as needed. If you haven't found your ragdoll arms already in today's practice, maybe invite that here by grabbing opposite elbows. If there's another variation, such as Padahastasana, sliding your hands under your feet from the front, you always have options here. As we're here, we're taking intentional, long, slow breaths in and out. No squeezing of pelvic floor, however. Maybe using your grip if you're holding the feet to pull down a little more, but also to help separate the upper back away. Last round. Let's release our hands from wherever they are. Inhale, bend the knees a little, engage low belly as you find half lift, a little roll. And exhale, bow. Inhale, rise, sweep all the way. Exhale, hands to heart. Whew. All right, so we're going to try all of that on the other side. So we'll stand up nice and tall. Get yourself ready. I'm going to sweep the arms up. Come with me. Let's take all of our energies, draw them in towards the heart. As you do so, pelvic floor lifts, a little more awareness in that leg. Take your right foot up to the inside. Never want it on the knee because we want to be able to gauge the foot and the leg into each other. Option to reach down and take it up a little higher. Don't have to take that option. Another nice option is to just take your toes to the floor and put your foot just up on the inner heel. Wiggling is going to happen, right? You just try to come back. This is that nice modified variation I was speaking of here. We'll be here for 3 more breaths. You can explore arm variations. You can stay still. Keep breathing. I can't hear you anymore. I know you're doing it. One more. All right, let's return hands to heart center as we prepare to come to warrior 3, lifting the right knee forward and up. Bend standing leg a little. Start to press it back. Can always slam the toes down, whether you wanted to or not. Doesn't matter. Try to find it. Keep that lower belly engaged so we don't bother lower back. Leg can come up as high as it's ready to come. And we'll land it. Woo! Arms up. Warrior 2, open it up. And then back to goddess pose. Let's move like right here. I think you guys can still see me in the mirror. Okay, so we're back to goddess, knees open, toes out. Take a moment here to adjust. We're coming back into a twist. We're going to add a fire twist. So take all of your fingertips together to create a flame. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, sit, twist to the left. Pull the elbows down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist. Keep the knees open. Don't let them start to collapse in. Last 2 each side. Belly bonfire breath comes into play. That pelvic floor, lower belly in. Last one each way. Nice. Come all the way back up. Then back to goddess. Take your hands behind the head. I'm going to take a few side bends here. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to tilt over to the right. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to the other side. So these can be tiny. Don't have to try to touch the knee. So that's pretty far away. Take it in and to the side. For one more each way. Last one. Back to the center. And let's come all the way up, arms out. Ooh, I was slipping like crazy there. Hands come behind your back, interlace. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knees bend. Let's fold here. So if your hands are stuck to your back, it might feel a lot better for you to bring something in between your hands so that they have more space to begin to move. So maybe a towel, a belt, shirt, whatever you have. Actively reaching the arms up, not just hanging on the shoulder joint here, so bring a little muscle into it. One more. If your hands are interlaced, keep them there. Otherwise, let's take them to the hips. And as you inhale, bend the knees, press all the way up to rise. And then release the hands. Back to your warrior two on the left. Left toes point forward, spread nice and long here. Back toes are either up at an angle towards that corner of your other top corner of the mat, or just parallel. Flip your left palm. Inhale to reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. The arm on the thigh kind of draws down from thigh to knee to help get you a little longer out of the hip there. Bless you, darling. And then we'll find half bind. Turn the palm to face behind. Bend the elbow and take your hand to the lower back. That's a nice reminder to find length in the spine there. So use an active press right at the sacral area, right at the sacrum, that little triangle there, right above the tailbone. Check in with your feet. Make sure your little toes aren't gripping like crazy. Try to evenly distribute the weight. And then we'll take the arm back up on an in-breath and exhale to stay. Inhale, sweep up and back to reverse. And let's cartwheel it down on the exhale and step it in back. Couple of breaths. Last two. Last one. Okay, last little standing series to go. Bend your knees, look forward, inhale. Exhale, walk or hop forward. Inhale, halfway, squeeze. Exhale, bow, soften. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. I'm just going to grab a quick drink here. If you guys need to do the same or wipe the sweat down a little, please do whatever you need. Okay. So if you brought blocks with you today, it will serve you to bring them up to the top of the mat. If not, you might be able to use a water bottle, or you can try with your fingertips on the floor. Really only need one. Oops, I did it again. Lost my mic. Hang on. Okay, I am back. Here we go. So this is a nice way to get into half moon. I'm going to take the arms up as we breathe in. And as we exhale, we're going to softly bow down to Mother Earth. Inhale to find half lift, and then take your right hand onto your block. And it has several heights. I'm going to use the highest, but you can do whatever feels best. Then we're going to take the hand and the block and walk them off the mat. This is going to give you a wider base for your half moon. Inhale, engage belly and your pelvic floor as you drag the left knee and elbow up and in. And then like your little flower pushing through the dirt, open and expand, arm up and foot back. I like to keep my gaze on the floor. It's a lot easier. But if you would like greater challenge, you can bring your gaze to the side or to follow the top hand. I'm going to stay for another 3. Another 2. Another 1. Last breath in. Exhale, release. Hand and foot come down to a soft fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, totally soften for fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. We're just going to take a moment here so that we don't spend too much time upside down. Might get a little dizzy if we're there too long. And just take one more breath. Now we're just going to do the exact same thing on the other side here. Arms stretch up on the inhale. Exhale, softly bow down. I like to think of it like almost pouring down. Inhale to half lift. Find your block for the left hand now. It walks off the side of the mat, wider base. As you inhale, more energy into the left side, right elbow and knee draws in, scoop and engage the low belly. Then open it out. So the whole time we're doing this, we're actively pressing up and out of the standing hip joint, actively drawing pelvic floor in. And as you kind of adjust and make awareness happen there, you might feel stronger and longer. You've got another 3. You got this. Another 2. Final. Last inhale to grow even bigger, and then exhale, we slowly reverse it down into fold, soft fold. Inhale halfway, exhale, last forward fold here. Oh, shake your head out, just enjoy it for a moment. I like to take my feet together, toe heel them together, and keep both feet on the floor, like fully on the floor, and just bend one knee at a time. So the heel stays on the floor, the toes stay on the floor. We're letting the hips wiggle and wave a little side to side. So I tend to get a little tension and stress down into the lower back on the side where it attaches into the hips. And this is a beautiful way for my body to kind of get rid of that tension. So hopefully this is feeling just as good for you as it is for me. And we'll just take about 2 more there. If you want to do more or less, it's all about you. Linking the movement maybe with breath. Alrighty. Let's inhale, find half lift, and toe heel the feet back to hips width. Fold it down, and inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Making our way through our final vinyasa of class. Arms stretch up on the inhale. Exhale, we pull ourselves down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant. Let's come back to down dog. Rolling to final plank. Bend the knees, prepare. Exhale, lift pelvic floor now. Continue to keep it lifted as you extend. We'll stay right here. With knees up or down, drop down to your right forearm. And then drop down to the left. Let's pause. With knees up or down, press yourself back up with the right hand, and then up with the left. And we got to go the other way, so down with the left, and down with the right. Take one breath. And then up with the left, and up with the right. We'll stay in high plank now. Squeeze fingers, squeeze glutes. Keep lifting and engaging here for another 4. Another 3. Another 2. And 1. Knees drop, top of the feet to the floor. Slowly drop yourself down using the strength of your arms and upper body. And then just rest here. Allow your arms to come on back, one cheek to the floor. It might feel good for you to bend your knees and flop the feet a little side to side.
Just let your arms find a place that feels nice. If the elbows are bent, you might be working the shoulders a bit. So I like to keep mine straight. Now let's turn our head to face the other way, and we can either continue to move the legs or let them stay still. Sometimes it's nice to kind of circle them, so you can just kind of play with whatever feels good for you. There's no right or wrong thing to do here. It's just all about tuning into what you need. And we'll finally just let the legs rest. We'll get into just a couple of back strengtheners from here today. So we'll start off with the hands close to the chest. Tops of the feet are going to press to the floor. Now before we begin, curl your toes under, or do one at a time is actually easier. And then use that to lift yourself up and out of the hip a little more, so you can get a little extra length from the legs. Then press the tops of the feet down, engage pelvic floor here. Take a breath in and lift up, chest only. And exhale, stay right here. So we're not trying to come up too high and dump into the lower back. We're more trying to drag ourselves a bit forward, using your belly muscles to lift in and up as if that internal lift can lift your stomach up off the ground. Elbows are drawing in. You might start to lift up slightly higher, but only if you can keep that nice long extension through the entire back. Last two. Maybe engaging the hands a little bit more for a higher lift, but pulling forward and long, not dumping. And then, oh boy, all done. Come on down, let the arms reach back. And just breathe. We'll push our way up into child's. But maybe for this guy, we'll take the knees together this time. Big toes together, and let yourself, instead of spraying down in between the legs, just kind of round down. And this is a very soft, gentle, supportive place for your spine to be. Just enjoying a little curl and some support. I'd like to reach my hands back towards my feet here. Can either hold the feet or maybe the heels. Forehead on the floor or block. Last three. Last two. Last one. All right, we'll press ourselves up to sit on the heels here. And we're going to sit. Did I lose my mic? Nope, I got it. We're going to sit to face forward here. So we're coming back into a little bit of core work. We're going to come back to where we started. Feet on the ground, finding that lift of the low belly. But then what we're going to do is we're going to try to pick up the right foot. This leg's going to stay right where it is. And just lean back a little bit. So you definitely want to keep a bend in that knee. You don't want to hyperextend and straighten it. It's going to be way too much probably for the hamstring there. And we don't want to tax anything out. We'll just find a little stretch. Working that nice long extension through the spine. Leaning back slightly. One more here. And take your left hand, slide it to the outside of the right foot, and then open the right arm up and back. And you're going to scoot a little forward. I'm going to touch the mirror. And try to get as tall as you can. Long leg, but bent there. Last two. Last one. Let's inhale, come back, hold the foot with both hands again. And then just for fun, let's see if we can let go. Oh my goodness. That's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Quad shaking a little bit there for 2 breaths. And 1. Put it on down, widen the feet a little bit. Inhale this little cat-cow variation. Exhale, walk it back. Couple more. Last one. All right, let's sit up nice and tall. Feet come back to more hips width. Left foot picks up. Stretch it forward, bend the knee a little. You want to find that nice length. So engaging the lower belly is going to help you stay nice and proud. Shoulders open. Stay here for a few breaths. Just trying to work a nice long spine. One more breath before we add twist. Right hand outside of foot. Inhale, left arm opens. And we just try to keep tall and twist through mid-spine. So the hips are still facing forward. Not crunching low back. Last few. Almost there. Let's come on back and grab the foot with both hands. Get ready. Let on go. Couple of breaths. And in. And out. Nice. Let's put that foot down. And now we're going to just take the feet out. Bending your right knee. We're going to take the foot to the inside of the opposite thigh. And if seated positions don't feel good for your lower back, you want to just elevate yourself up onto a block here. And if your hip's bothering you, you could always put a block under this thigh. We're going to lift ourselves up, and on an exhale, we're just going to reach up and over towards the long leg. Now you can look to the sky, to the side, or down, but just find a soft, intentional place to set the eyes. Try not to crunch into the side that you're folding into, so lifting up and out of both left and right sides. One more breath. Final breath. We'll inhale up and exhale. Hands can come down as you begin to switch your sides. You can take the hands back however you need to move to make that switch. Readjust so both sits bones feel level, engaging belly a bit. Inhale upwards. Exhale up and over. So taking time to roll the top shoulder away from the ear and open it back. Last few. Two more. And one. Inhale, lift back up. And exhale, hands come down. Finding a wide leg forward fold. Separate both legs out. On an inhale, you'll lift up through the front. Arms can come with your spine if they like. Then as you exhale with a little bend in the knees, you're going to start to crawl your way gently forward. This might be as far as you go, or even less. You might be able to come lower, but you want to only go as low as you can with a length through the spine. You can let your feet be floppy, but if you want to intensify the stretch in the hamstrings, flexing the ankles is going to take it up several notches. Try not to put too much pressure into the shoulders and dump your weight there. So if you need to bring a block or something up under your head, then you're going to go ahead and give yourself the support that you need. Let's take a few more. Last two. Last one. As you inhale, we'll come back to tall spine, sitting up nice and tall. And as you exhale, we're just going to make our way onto our backs here. So you can just spin yourself around. And take yourself slowly down onto your back, just letting the weight of your body help flatten your back to the mat as the knees draw gently into the chest. You can either wrap your arms around the shins here, maybe holding elbows, or you just hold onto the shins or the knees, finding a little rocking sensation just to help soften all of the muscles of the back to the floor. Let's take 2 more. And 1 more. We'll draw our feet down to the floor, finding a little spinal traction here. So we'll take the heels so that they're under the knees or a little further away. Never take them too close. Even if you do it for a moment, you can already feel a little pressure on the front of the knees. So we don't want to create any issues. So just find a nice, comfortable place. Take your hands to the tops of the thighs. Thumbs point in. Pinkies are out around the edge to the outside. And just start to very gently press the tops of the thigh away. So now we're just actively stretching out that low spine area. See if you can direct your breath right into that lower spine, creating a little space. Press as hard as you like or as lightly as you like. And we'll drop our hands to the floor and make our way up into bridge. We'll take an in-breath to get ready. As you exhale, we'll lift the hips and try to articulate through each vertebra of the spine to come up. Once you get there, you might walk your shoulders a little closer to each other, but keep them right up underneath rather than walking them further away. This will keep the meaty part of the shoulders underneath you and should help you support yourself better and take the pressure off the neck. You want a nice natural curve for the neck here. Never flattening the neck out in this position. I'm going to stay for 4 more breaths. Actively lifting up and driving the knees forward. On our last 2, big inhale. Exhale. Final full round. Nice. On this inhale, we come up just high enough to take the shoulders back out one by one, and then exhale slowly down 1 vertebra at a time, and the hips hit last. Coming back to that same spinal traction, hands to the tops of the thighs, and just gently press away. Couple of breaths here. And just 1 more. Coming into our half pigeon on our back, cross your right ankle over on top of the left leg. You can either just continue to work that spinal traction, gently pressing the tops of both thighs away. Or if you would like to, you'll now interlace your fingers behind the left thigh by threading the right arm through, and both hands will interlace behind. Start to lift the legs up towards the chest. You can use your right elbow to gently press the right leg open a little more. Very gently though. I like to invite circles in here, so I'll gently circle my knee in and around in one direction, just like a gentle massage, and then maybe in the other direction. And we'll spend a few moments just holding in stillness. For another 2. And another 1. Let's switch sides. So if you lifted your foot, drop it down. We'll then take the right foot to the floor. And then we'll switch sides. Taking the left ankle over on top of the right. You can apply the spinal traction here if you like. Or taking the left arm in between the triangle and both hands interlace behind the right leg. We're trying to keep the lower back on the floor, not lifting or engaging anything. Everything is super soft. Maybe finding those lovely circles just to coax everything to get a little bit more soupy, a little more elastic and relaxed. And the other way. And then as you're ready, we'll spend our last few breaths perhaps in stillness, but if your body would like to stay with gentle movement, please always follow your own body's wishes. Not necessarily what you think you need here, or what your brain interprets as better or more challenging, but what your body is actually requiring. One more here. Let's gently come on out, foot to the floor, both feet down for a moment. Lift yourself up into happy baby, taking the soles of the feet towards the sky. Grab the outer edges of the feet. Bend your knees and just let the legs kind of open up there. I'm just going to get up briefly to turn the lights down for our folks that are out in studio. Deep breaths. You can start to play around with this by straightening out one leg. If you've straightened out one leg, you can bend it back again and then straighten out the other. And maybe you bend it again. And then you can continue to work one at a time or keep the knees bent. Or maybe we open both legs up. So we worked our seated wide leg forward fold. And this is just kind of that exact same thing, but now we're on our backs. Nice stretch for inner thigh, which can be neglected here. Last round. Let's release, take the knees in, take both hands onto your knees. We're going to circle the knees open and around a few times. And then just doing the same thing in the other direction whenever you're ready without rushing. We'll come into a gentle inversion. If you have a block, you're going to reach over for it. Set up as if you're going into bridge. Lift your hips up and just slide the block. Most likely it's just on the lowest height, right underneath the sacrum. Now, if you are somebody who's more bendy in your lower back, or actually not through your lower back, but the entire back, you could lift up and do this on the medium height, but just be aware if you're doing it this way that the block's a lot more tippy, and you'll have to be careful when we begin to lift the legs to the sky. So from here, we'll lift one knee and just kind of bring it up over the chest, and then the other, and we'll take both legs up to the sky. If you're on a lower height block, you don't need to be so careful about it. But if you're on a higher block, you want to go very gently so you don't tilt. Once you arrive, we'll try to relax the shoulders. Let them draw away from ears. You might just do a quick neck check and slide your hand under your neck. You want to make sure it can comfortably fit. If the neck's too flat, just readjust there so there's no pressure. And just simply let gravity take over as the blood drains down from the feet, down from the legs, and goes through the pelvis and floods the heart. Do this without a block too. You just kind of lose a little bit of the inversion there with the hips being up. And we'll be here for another 5 restful breaths. Just noticing where the mind goes and releasing those thoughts. we simply notice without judging them or engaging, staying as soft and as peaceful as we can. Allowing any emotions to be present and allowing them to be felt without the voices in your head piping in to try to explain them, dissect them, whatever those voices tend to do with your feelings. Just keep those voices quiet and let the feelings be present. When you're ready, we'll start to gently come down, 1 foot down at a time so that you're safe. Block comes out, set it off to the side and just let your spine realign to the floor. We'll find a gentle twist before we rest in Shavasana. Let's take the right knee in, interlace your fingers on the shin, and extend the opposite leg nice and long. This is your wind relieving pose. It's a nice stretch within itself. We'll stay here briefly, and then we'll twist. Let's take the right hand to the right, left hand onto the knee, and just let your knee gently fall over to the opposite side. Your closed eyes might turn to face your extended arm. 3 breaths. Two more. One more. Slowly unwind on the inhale. And as you exhale, we'll switch things out, bringing the opposite leg in, stretching the right one long. Interlace fingers around the shin. Use your strong arms to find your wind relieving pose. Nice stretch there. And when your body is ready to twist, we'll take the right hand onto the knee, left arm out to the side, and the knee crosses over, the hip lifts, but we try to keep both shoulders pressed down. Let your eyes remain closed. They can either face up or turn over towards the left arm. Last few moments here. Stay twisted until your body tells you it's ready to come out. And whenever it is, you will very slowly unwind. If there's anything else your body needs before it's ready to fully recline, let yourself find that. I tend to always need another self-hug there, whatever it happens to be in your body. And then we'll set up for our Shavasana, taking your feet to the floor with bent knees to protect lower back, if that feels better for you today. Arms alongside you, palms open. Or you're welcome to extend the legs, if that feels all right. Simply allowing yourself to land. Bearing witness to any thoughts. Welcoming the emotions. Totally surrounded by love. So fortunately or unfortunately, the worst critics that we have are generally ourselves. So you can look at that in a bad light saying, wow, I'm always carrying that judge with me. It's always there. But the cool thing is the only person we have the ability to change is us. So with time, patience, and practice, we can start to release that judge from our bodies, from our minds, and from our hearts. And instead welcome in that soft, warm, loving self. The one that might come a little more easily to mind when we're thinking of others. And we just welcome that self in. And as we welcome that self into ourselves, it softens ourselves to be able to share it with others. And we'll just stay here for our last few moments, feeling light, feeling relaxed, both soft and strong. If your body would like to enjoy this position for a longer period of time, you can stay here throughout the close of class. If you would like to find your final Om in a seated position, we'll start to slowly reawaken the body by bringing movements into the fingers and the toes, wrists, ankles, and maybe the joints of the neck, moving the head a little, side to side. Possibly stretching both arms long and back for a big stretch here. Back might come up off the floor, just hips and shoulders on the floor and upper back. And then just relaxing a bit as you lightly draw one knee into the chest, followed by the other, sweeping your arms out and around and in for a hug if you're joining me here. Rolling either off to the side to find a seat, or if you like to rock forward and back, you can hold the backs of the thighs and just very gently rock a little to find your final seat, or staying reclined, perfectly welcome. Either sitting with your legs crossed, back on the heels, with or without your blocks. We'll take the hands to the heart. If you've chosen to stay reclined, prayer hands might feel a little strange there, and if it does, you can just place both palms over the heart instead. Paying another tribute to the self that resides within. Not being afraid to show that self to everyone else. Maybe you'll inspire someone else to do the same. We'll now join our prayer hands to third eye, thumb knuckles press up against the forehead. I thank you all so much for joining me today and allowing me to guide you through your practice. The love and the light with me deeply honors the love and the light in you. I close in honor with you at the word namaste. Namaste, my dear yogis, my students, my friends. I thank you all so much again. I hope you had a lovely journey throughout today's class. Have a great rest of the week, and thank you so much. Thanks, guys.